Askreddit, what's your favorite toy from the 80s and 90s that kids today would say is boring? Tiger electronic handheld games. They had bowling, football, baseball etc. Pretty cool to have portable games back in the day. Any phone game blows those out of the water, not to mention PSP and Switch, even old school Game Boy was light years ahead. Yes, Coleco. I had one of those Viewmaster things when I was young. I would image that those would seem pretty dull compared to what kids have for entertainment these days. I forgot all about those fracking things. I had a special edition E-Man 1. Light bright. Fuck yes. One day my dad threw out all of mine and my sister's toys stored in our guest room. Out went a few dozen board games that we played with a lot, our Light Bright and our Easy Bake Oven. My sister, mom and I were pretty mad at him for a while. Light Bright was so relaxing, and so much fun to see the final artwork when you turned off the lights. Those sticky stretchy hands from gumball machines. OMG yes. So fun, but they'd get dirty in an hour and rendered useless. I always loved the goop and silly putty too. Tamagotchi. Hell yeah. They brought them back and I got one for my niece and she said, all you do is feed it and it poops. So I took it for myself and I'm just a 30-year-old with a Tamagotchi now. Those plastic parachute guys you'd get for a couple of dollars, you throw that bitch in the air and his parachute deploys. My G, what else do you need? Or if you're me, you throw him in the air mid-ascension, his chute gets wrapped around his torso and he just plummets. Polly Pocket, probably, the original ones where if you dropped a piece of the playset on the carpet, you needed an industrial microscope to find it again. That or a hoop. You can have a lot of fun with a hoop. Also, paper dolls seem to have gone out of fashion. I had a friend with Victorian paper dolls. They were amazing. Okay, hear me out, Pogs. Edit, thanks so much for the silver. Makes it easier to explain to my husband why I was dicking around on Reddit talking about Pogs instead of doing the dishes. I had some cool slammers. I had a speak and spell in the 80s that I loved, pretty sure kids today wouldn't like it. Like not even in an ironic or hipster way. I had one that had the ET expansion card. To this day, I remember one of the questions, spelt save, as in save the frogs less than ribbit, always cracked me up with the chip-generated ribbit sound. Etch-a-Sketch, Micro Machines, Hot Wheels, Mouse Trap, Giga Pet, Soccer Bopper. Mouse Trap took longer to set up than to play, and guaranteed someone nudges the board and sets it off before the end. Teddy Ruxpin. It blew my fracking mind. Our kids? Yawn. Teddy Ruxpin haunted the dreams of 80s kids like Furby 8 Souls in the 90s. Sit and spin. We didn't have one, but damn it if there was one at a friend's house I was going to try to spin so hard I fell over. Can confirm. I loved my sit and spin and was thrilled to find one for my kids. Their opinion? Meh. My mom bought me an 8-track player when I was in 8th grade. Looked like a lunch box but you could separate into 2 pieces. And it still sounds cool. Pogs. Those things kept me entertained for hours. Although, I have absolutely no idea if we ever played with them correctly. It's neat how that craze took over the schoolyards for a solid 2 years and they died out completely. I wonder if people grew bored or if it was because schools banned Pogs due to conflict. Not sure if this counts as toy. Garbage pail kids, anyone? Yes. Did you have muscle men too? They were army guy-sized, flesh-toned, pink, and like a wide variety of mutants. I remember one with muscles upon muscles. Do you remember those? An Atari 2600 played on a 13 inches black and white TV. Just try playing Q*bert in grayscale. No wonder I needed glasses by age 9. Breakout, Pitfall, Frogger. Those were the days. We didn't need number 4 buttons, 2 joysticks, bumpers and triggers on one controller. Get off my lawn. Sand, bugs, just the hole outside if you get the drift. Ah yay summertime, Hot Wheels in the dirt under our rope swing because it was that real fine powder you could actually use the bulldozers and leave tire tracks in. Skip It, Spirograph. I loved my Skip It. We all had these in the playground in primary school. I'm pretty sure they got banned in the end. I'll join the rest of you naming pre-80s toys with light bright. There have been one or two online versions that get the glow right, but no tactile sense of pushing through that paper. Light bright is one of my earliest toy memories. 70s kid. Game Boy. The games were mostly pretty basic, but they were, and in some cases still are, fun. I think kids now would find Game Boy games still fun. They wouldn't be that expensive now. I had a Peaches and Cream Barbie. Good lord, was she fancy. Same. She was fancy. Wonderful Waterful Basketball, Ring Toss, et al. I loved those. Weeble Wobbles. They wobble, but they don't fall down. I had the Haunted House one. This handheld water ring toss game. Lol, remember those pull-tab pinball games? Actual lawn darts, played once in someone else's yard. Kids today would turn up their noses at that to play GTA, whatever version it is now. More noise and splatter in video games, I guess. Actual lawn darts are illegal now. My favorite toys in the 80s were these anthropomorphic animals in various sci-fi armor named Battle Beasts. They were about 2.5 inches tall and only the joint in their shoulders moved. The rest of it was static plastic. The real kicker was that each of them had a liquid crystal thing on their armor that revealed if they were fire, water, or wood. Fire beat wood. Wood beat water. Water beat fire. So you had to strategize your battles carefully lest Jason get the one up on you and flank you wood reserves with his fire light infantry. Fucking Jason. I friggin' loved Battle Beasts as a kid. I was fairly poor growing up, so getting a 2-pack of those for a few bucks was great. I ended up with a bunch of them, and me and my friends would trade them around. I even managed to get one of those pull back and go chariot things in the shape of a ram's head for them to joust with. Good times. Play-Doh. It's fracking fun, okay. I'm what you would consider a kid today, and I don't think it's possible for a generation to find Play-Doh boring. Cap guns. You ever have one of those lever-action cap rifles that used the paper caps? They jammed faster than bebop but were perfect for cowboys and Indians. Rock'em robots, nothing beats the joy of beating a friend in that all-out brawl of a game. I bought a remake for a White Elephant gift exchange a few years back. Things got a bit heated for the rights to take it home. Rock'em Sock'em still holds up. A bucket and shovel. Stanley Yelnats? I don't know if they'd say it was boring, but be surprised that our parents spend $20 on a thing that might sell for $1 on the App Store today. For example, I loved Lights Out. I think I beat all the levels of that one. Spent a loot of time on it. The yo-yo ball. Kids will never appreciate a good yo-yo ball again. I'm pretty sure it's just yo-yo, winking face. My favorite thing to play with during the 80s and 90s was my penis. Hey frack it, it's yours right? Have at it. Stretch Armstrong. Then again, playtime wouldn't last too long anyway since they were so easy to break. He's making a comeback apparently. If you're in the UK, I saw them advertised in Aldi of all places. Creepy crawlers. I heard in my head when I read it. Creepy crawlers. Also, Happy Cake Day. My Atari 2600. Kids today would probably be horrified by the graphics, but there were some incredibly fun games on there, even today. Tank and combat grudge matches will never die. When I hear Atari 2600, all I can remember is when those assholes put out that game about raping Native American called Custer's Revenge. Lol, they would see any graphic from Atari and immediately lose interest. Slinky. One of the all-times classics. Simple and fun. G.I. Joes. I used to spend hours just playing with them. I can't imagine the market is still booming for them. Trust me, as the Gen X father of an 8-year-old boy, there's definitely a market for action figures. But the reality is that the market was pretty much ruined by collectors, and now the handful of decent action figures being produced are marketed and priced to the collector crowd. I thought Transformers were so cool. Today kids might think they're too confusing maybe? My daughter loves hers. Please subscribe. Multiple videos uploaded daily.